Welcome back, guys. For my email signature, I drew a comical self-portrait of me, and then I gave it to you guys for you to color it like you were coloring any kind of coloring sheet. Some of you guys did a great job. Some of you made me look like this. What I wanted you to do was I wanted you to try and draw your own self-portrait. And I think these turned out great. But what we're going to do now together is put them in the digital realm, scan them or take a photo, get them in the computer, and color them in Photoshop. It'll be quick and easy, and we're gonna do it like this. I send myself a lot of emails, and this assignment is no exception. Let me go to Google, check my Outlook. Oh look, all these emails to myself. Self-portrait. There is a picture that I took. I tried to make sure there were no shadows when I took it. I mean, there's always going to be shadows. But download. Here it is downloading down here. It's called Image 2. Done with this. Now I'm going to open Photoshop. And now I want to go to File, Open. Click over here, look for your downloads. There is Image 2. Open. Hey, there's my picture. What I can do right now is crop it. And you'll see the crop tool and all this stuff show up. That's not too bad. And now I want to see how big this is. Image, adjust, nope, image size. Go to image size. 21 inches by 33 inches, 72 resolution. That's actually a really big file. That'll work. Click on OK. Get out a crop tool. That is the original in the background layer. I'm going to want to copy that, turn off my background layer. That says background copy. I want to clean this up. So let me zoom in and let me go to Edit, Adjust, Threshold. And that turns it into a crisp black and white picture. Maybe I should show you the difference real quick. If you zoom in on my eyebrow, you'll see all these different shades of gray in the eyebrows. And where the eyebrows touch the white paper, it gets really light gray. However, when I go to Edit, Adjust, Threshold, it just turns it into black and white pixel art. And you might think you don't want your picture to look like black and white pixel art. Well, when it is this big, it's going to be okay. Other things that I can clean up, there were like little flecks all over my paper, which made my paper look dirty. I can take a pencil tool and make sure it's set to white, and I can clean this picture up a little bit more. I made a note to myself to add a little more teeth. So with my brush tool, I'm afraid my drawing made me look toothless. That's better. And I think I made a note to fix this eyelid. I can get rid of that. Note to self. I did some scribbles up here to test my pen, make sure my pen was working. I won't be needing those. Some little dirt down here. You might be wondering, if I'm erasing these, why aren't I using the eraser tool? Because if you use the eraser tool, you're actually erasing the white part, and I do not want to do that. I'm using my white pencil like it is whiteout. Now that all of this is strictly black and white, crisp black and white art, I'm going to go to my magic wand tool, maybe set the tolerance to 1, make sure that contiguous is clicked off, and that will get all the black parts. There it is. It has highlighted all the black. Hair, eyebrows, jeans, you name it. I'm going to make a new layer. And with a pencil tool, a giant pencil tool, I'm going to color all over this highlight, just like that. And now I'm going to call this layer line art. In fact, I can get rid of this background copy. I like to keep the background here just in case anything goes wrong. But here's my line art. We are going to use a lot of lasso tools. Polygon lasso, set to 0. Get out of there. Regular lasso tool, set that to 0. Set all your selection tools to 0. We're going to use the lasso tool a lot, the magic wand a lot, the pencil tool a lot. The first thing I want to do is kind of mask out the figure. Maybe I'll just call this figure colors. I'm going to pick a weird color. Red is already up here, that's my default. I'm going to zoom in, and with my lasso tool, and maybe some of you want to do the polygon lasso tool, I'm going to trace around this as good as I can, and I might even fast forward this in the video. This part's actually time consuming. Paint bucket tool. Let me do that a lot. Maybe at this point it's easier to go to the polygon lasso tool. Okay, zoom out. Unfortunately, this is considered raster based instead of vector based. Even if my selection tools, like my lasso, is set to 0, we still happen to get these overlapping parts that don't fill it in completely. So my picture looks like a giant jigsaw puzzle. But I figure if I do, in my figure colors layer, a magic wand and select inverse with a gigantic pencil tool, I can color this in. Kids, we're doing great. I'm going to take this figures color and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to call this layer flats. A flats layer is when you just color everything with flat colors. So let's go over here and find like a good peach color for my skin. And what I'm going to do, this is neat, if you magic wand the red figure and I grab my pencil tool, everything I color is going to stay inside this red figure. So if I color him, oh no, now I want to set my paint bucket to contiguous. Boom, that part's done. Now I'm looking at this right now, thinking like you, that this person looks really yellow. Well, with Photoshop, obviously I can go back and adjust it. But right now I just want to fill in these shapes. Oops. Fill, X, eyedropper tool, red, boom, boom. If you press X, it flips your colors back and forth down here. So right now I really only want 2 colors, the skin tone and the red tone. Skin on my arm. Here we go. I don't want to mess that up, so fill it. There we go. There's some flats. Now here's another neat thing. Now with my magic wand tool set at a tolerance of 1, I can click on the skin and everything stays inside the skin. So let's just say I wanted to give myself brown hair. I can color out here, nothing happens. I can color in the red, nothing happens. But if I'm coloring in the skin, something definitely happens. Okay, so I got hair right here. A pretty high hairline, I'll admit. G. Let's pick a light gray for this step for the eyes. And a light gray for the teeth. I colored outside the lines on that one. X. B for brush. I can do this. I can hit magic wand again, and now the teeth are not selected. So I can grab a pink for the inside of my mouth and my tongue. G for paint bucket, fill. Find a blue for my eyes. Magic wand to the gray. Blue for my eyes. Zoom out, Control minus. Get out of there. Let's give myself, I want a white shirt also. I know I want to make the eyes and the teeth white eventually. I'm gonna magic wand this shirt. I'm gonna use this light gray for the shirt. I want a different gray. Magic wand the red shirt. Let's do a dark gray for the shirt, but instead of coloring this whole thing in, I can just come down here. Boom. Done. And my blue jeans, magic wand the red shirt. Sometimes when you color, you notice things that you may have missed before. I know last time when I drew this Mr. Pen, I want a different blue. And I asked you guys to color it in class. This thumb threw people for a loop. So now is my chance to fix it. And just kind of blended with the jeans just now. Go into line art. That's the fun thing about art. You're constantly refining things. There, that looks a little bit more like a thumb. All right, jeans, zoom in. I'll give myself a brown belt. Oh, make sure you're in the flats layer. Magic wand, I can eyedropper this brown from my hair. Let's see here, belts, 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 belt, belt, and belt buckle. Magic wand. I'm going to wear a make-believe Deer Lake shirt, one that does not exist. I'm going to grab a dark green here, magic wand my gray shirt, and with a pencil tool, draw this dark green, paint bucket fill. I'm going to give myself green shoulders. There we go. Fill that in. Touch this up where I went outside the lines. Becolor this part green. Uh-oh, went outside the lines. X, I, B. You'll get the hang of it eventually. Okay, I want a dark blue. Eyedropper that blue, make it darker. Magic wand to the gray. Let's see. Here's the sleeve. Here's the collar. Here's this collar. Here's this sleeve. And now that my flats are done, we can start actually painting with a brush. I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to call this one Colors. Now kids, I'm about to make a lot of layers. Step 1, I don't like that skin tone. Adjust. Can I do brightness contrast? That one looks a little healthier. Let's grab this, and in the colors layer, I'm going to use a soft brush and one that is not that big. Let me zoom in. I've got, oh no, Control Z. In my advancing years, I've got gray temples. I can make this brown darker and maybe even grayer with my brush tool here. I can make my belt, maybe I want to make it darker gray. Contiguous. This. My jeans. I think these jeans look really loud. It's a very bright blue. Let me go to adjustments, hue and saturation. I can desaturate it. I can make them darker. I think I like that blue better. Can I play with this blue? I like that. That green looks pretty good. I like to work in different layers. I've told you this multiple times. Let's try this. I'm gonna magic wand this pink, and in a new layer, I don't even have to name it, I want to make this look more like a mouth. So with my paintbrush tool, I can make that darker. I can make my tongue a different shade of pink. There, now that's not so bright. If I'm happy with that, I can merge down. It's still in my colors layer. My gray eyes, I can magic wand the eyes, and in a new layer, just to be safe, grab a white, grab a paintbrush. I can make the inside of my eyes white. I can make my teeth whiter up front. There we go. Merge down. My blue eyes, these are crazy blue. I think I want them a little bit darker, bluish gray. Let me grab my paintbrush tool, and in a new layer, that's pretty good. Zoom out, it's starting to look good. Oh, merge down. So this is my colors layer, on and off, on and off. Here's my flats layer, on and off, on and off. Highlights and shadows can be tricky. So let's do this. I'm going to magic wand the sleeves. And in a new layer, I want to grab that sleeve color with my eyedropper. I want to make a brighter color like that. Brush. I'm going to make some highlights over here. Maybe a fold right there. My collar goes here. And what I can do now with my eraser tool, I can make that a harder brush. And I can start erasing some lines here. This part of my sleeve, here, here. The inside part of my collar. Those are the highlights. What I will do next, since this layer is selected, I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to go back. I'm going to turn off the highlight layer. I'm going to magic wand to this sleeve and see if I can find a darker version of that blue. And now with the shadows, I can make this part darker, here, part of this, the inside of my sleeve. Now what happens when I turn this layer back on? That looks pretty good. I'm going to drag it to the top. I like that. So now I'm going to merge down, merge down. Let's do that with the jeans. Go to my colors layer, highlight it, select it, new layer, eyedropper, brighter version, brush tool, and I can do these folds on my jeans like this. If I don't like those, maybe reselect that. If I don't like those, I can eraser tool, make some of these shadows sharper, shadows sharper. I like that. Merge down. The gray part of my shirt, magic wand, eyedropper tool, brighter gray, big brush here, eraser tool, smudge tool. We don't really play with that a whole lot. I can make a new layer. Oh, I didn't even do that in a new layer, but that's okay. New layer. It's not the end of the world. Eyedropper that gray, darker gray, brush tool. That's pretty good. Merge down. Green, magic wand, new layer, eyedropper tool, brighter green, brush tool, get some highlights there and some highlights there, eraser tool. Oh, I didn't even do that in a new layer. Goodness. New layer, eyedropper tool, this green, grab a slightly darker green. That looks good. That looks good. I'm liking that. Oh, merge down. And now the hardest part, which I don't think is that hard, the skin colors. If I go to Magic Wand and I highlight my skin color, let's do a layer of dark shadows for my skin. Magic Wand that and grab a darker color. I know that I've got, that can be darker. And maybe even a little pinker. Redder, pinker. Okay. I'm going to do under my eyes, under these eyes, on my ear, on my neck, on my chin, my cheeks, my nose. That already looks pretty good, I think. My hands, my knuckles, my forearms, my super big biceps. Okay, that shade of my skin is in its own layer. Eraser tool, I want to clean up this finger. I maybe want to erase around the tips of my ears. Bring some highlights back. Highlight there. Bring my thumb back to life. Not bad. Before I merge that, let me do the highlights. Let me go back to my colors layer, Magic Wand, new layer. I'm going to put these highlights on top. I'm going to grab this color with my eyedropper tool. I'm going to make it brighter. And now in this layer with the brush tool, I can even go brighter. I can do some highlights here. A highlight on my 5 head because it's bigger than a 4 head. Here, on my nose and my cheeks. On my finger right here. The tip of my thumb. My forearm right here. Maybe get some of that bounce back lighting here and here. Now you might be thinking, why'd you color outside the lines? That's what doing this in its own layer is for. I feel like that finger stands out more. And erasing this part of the highlight makes it stand out more. This part of my chin makes it stand out more. Erase this part. Erase this part. Zoom out. Kids, I like that. I'm going to go to merge down. Merge down. Do I want to get rid of my flats? I guess at this point it doesn't matter. Merge down. Merge down. What I do not want you to do today is merge all these together. The only thing I want you to do is merge line art with this. I can call this self-portrait, but what I do not want you to do is have a background. I want you to be able to move this person around for your next assignment. Control Z. Because for your next assignment, we will be making multiple copies for our email signatures. And if you merge these with a background, you won't be able to do that. Now you will go to File, Export, Export as a JPEG, obviously. Save that with your Photoshop assignments. Save it in the cloud, save it on the computer. Email it to me. I'm going to call this one self-portrait. I might even spell it right. Self-portrait, save. In Photoshop, make sure you hit save so this goes into the cloud, okay? That's it for this week. See you next time. Bye.